Nicholas Roxon became the first to be crushed. Kennedy promoted his brother Robert to the position of Attorney General, who launched a wild investigation of Jimmy, threatening to put him behind bars. Jimmy became a hot potato and the first to be put behind bars. Jimmy was in the hot seat. He could only bark helplessly at the ants, but Frank, who was lying in the wings, was furious that what Jimmy had done and had simply walked out, but the ever-proud Jimmy rushed out to apologize. He couldn't afford to lose Frank, who was such a powerful helpmate or who had already made him his family, but it was also Russell's fault for backing Kennedy in his war against the curb, so that the casinos in the curb would become their back garden. Afterwards, Jimmy gave Frank the job of being a truck driver again, delivering a loaded truck to Florida. Frank didn't know what was in it, but when he arrived at the place of exchange, he found that it was loaded with weapons for the war against Cuba. To keep his position as president of the Union, Jimmy took Frank to speak to the public to win him over. He also promoted a second-in-command who didn't seem particularly smart. Just as a precaution afterward, they returned to the hotel. Frank perceived the second-in-command as weak and unfit. Jimmy explained that for a second-in-command, you don't want someone too clever, but rather someone who is a popular asset. This way, when he walks behind you, there's no need to worry about being stabbed and he's more capable of executing orders. However, Jimmy didn't realize that his claim to wealth would become his biggest blunder.